Clicky clacky math rocks.
Yeah, all right.
I guess if you're pulling my arm. Oh, wait.
All right, well, hell yeah, let's do it. So it's been a little bit since we've been back, so a little refresher. The last time we were all together, you finished up your fight with these creatures that had arrived in the middle of your meeting, your battle plan session to start fighting back against Oblivion and against the Rift creatures themselves. So it seems that early suspicions were correct, and there is possibly a traitor amongst the council that has been brought together. After the fight, a few people were still missing, so it is entirely possible that your traitor has escaped, been accidentally killed in the crossfire, or is still amongst you. Anything at this point is possible. We've also found out that the creature our group of heroes was tracking down and getting ready to face in their last campaign, the Rift Behemoth, has made its unfortunate return, and this time seems to be, at least as far as early reports indicate, sticking around more than it had before. It's more terrestrial based. It's not disappearing and appearing several miles displaced anymore. It seems to have reappeared near the Oblivion labs, the great scar that is there now from when Pandemonius escaped, and is making its way, what everyone it thinks at least, is making its way to the capital city of Imlard, is on its way to Baron, likely to, simply destroy and officially kick off this next war of Oblivion, as Oblivion and Pandemonius and all their forces gather and start getting ready to fuck some shit up. It's going to be up to our heroes to stop them. So a desperate plan that is the original plan that they'd had to deal with it, which never got to happen because the Legionnaires jumped the gun a little bit and, well, they set off this horrific chain of events. We're going to take the airship that our crew is on now, and we're going to fly it so that you can attack the Rift Behemoth directly by going inside of it. It seems to have a strange, porous, like calcified skin in places that have openings where it has been reported they've seen now, especially since the Legionnaire attack, Rift creatures have emerged from it. So we're going to use the airship to get in close, to use one of those to get inside. See if we can make our way through the interior of this massive creature to its heart and strike it down as a mercy at this point. It's ancestral, like long descendant kin that you have in fact met, a couple of you, seem to ask you at that point, this poor tortured soul, see if you can bring it some peace. And the only way to do so is likely to kill it, put it down. And as part of that mercy, Arturo has learned the Song of Life, which will be used to incapacitate, stun, whatever, but allow the creature to be attacked at all, and will allow you to have even the most smallest fraction of a chance to finally strike this massive threat down and essentially ride that victory further on, like help build morale of all these people who've been fighting these Rift creatures, who have seen all this death and destruction these last few months, to rally them, to bring them back from hopelessness, and to see if you can guide them once more towards the light. So we're here on board the airship. We've had a little bit of discussion. This plan's been laid out. The party, of course, has every opportunity to take a rest. We're not going to be taking off immediately to attack this. We need to prepare We need to get rest in. We're worn out. A lot of like the soldiers and anybody that survived the attack on the meeting is just worn out at this point and needs to recollect themselves before we finally step out and take this first step and this actual war begins. So if there's any questions you guys have of anybody here, anything you want to ask about what's been going on, feel free. They're available. But other than that, I think the meeting had come to a point where it was essentially adjourned. If you no longer wish to participate, they're probably going to stick around, continue to discuss things, bring up other logistical matters, bring up other situations that may be developing around the rest of the world. You can stick around and listen to that if you like. You can travel around the ship. You can go take your rest. The floor essentially will be up and open to all of you.
So just out of curiosity, would you say we have like, I don't know, 5 days before we have to deal with the rough behemoth?
Unfortunately, you do not.
Oh, sorry I tried, Luther.
Oh,
That was a
no.
good try. I appreciate it.
God, we could slow down.
Just slow down the ship like a little bit.
Yeah, just dial it back into second gear.
Maybe we just do a patrol of like areas as we go, like spin around in a circle.
Yeah, just give it a slow circle. Make sure everything's cool. We don't want to rush this.
Gotta be careful when we park too. Like back it up, slowly back. Oh wait, no, miss a line.
You don't want to scratch the paint. It's brand new. You guys just got it.
You don't get to be in an airship very often. We gotta savor this.
It is in fact at your discretion, this airship. It has been given to the party. So if there's somewhere you want to go, something you want to do, you just speak to the captain and we will see about getting you there and making that happen.
Can we call the captain Sid?
He might be confused, as his name is in fact Argo, but
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
know.
I guess there's nothing stopping you from doing so.
Hey
I
Sid,
was a
Argo?
little surprised you didn't take the opportunity to allude.
Hey Sid, Argo.
Yeah,
like
Sid,
I was-
Argo.
Like I was saying, Sid, Argo.
Yeah, just every time we refer to him as Sid, no matter how much he corrects us.
Luther, are you heading for the door?
There's 2 doors, 3 doors, 4 doors. There's 4 doors.
Yeah, there's doors all over. This is the prime meeting room. Either hallway, the foredeck, the kitchen.
I was gonna say, what this? Who dat?
I am going to approach Kingsguard lady, whose name escapes me at the moment, unfortunately.
Highlight. Oh,
Elise.
Elise, thank you.
Put your cursor.
I forgot that was a thing. My bad. I've not slept well in 2 days. My brain is in bleh.
Get one of those special pillows with the fucking the thing that straightens out your back. I just got one yesterday. Oh my god, best sleep I've had all week.
No, I'm just going to approach her and ask if she is available for practice and training.
Is that what you call it?
Yes, because it's practice and training.
I'm going wherever Arturo goes because if the ship falls, I'm grabbing onto him. As previously stated before he arrived.
Don't worry, I've kept the spell available just in case. But wait, before everybody goes running off, I'm sorry, gnome person I forget the name of.
Put your
Damia.
cursor. Thank you. Jesus.
But before everyone started attacking us at the meeting before, you wanted to say something about something you'd noticed or something, but you stopped yourself, and then we all got attacked. And I'm not going to be able to sleep until you say what it is.
You're gonna be able to sleep up here? Jeez.
Well, first Elise will smile at Luther, give him a bit of a nod. I'd be happy to do a little bit of sparring with you up on the deck if you don't mind.
Of course.
That These will go downstairs to the crew
I
deck.
just
This is where all
noticed.
like the
Okay,
quarters
slow
are.
down. Yeah.
He will stand back and let the lady go first.
And then these will go up to the actual deck of the ship. She will gesture towards the door behind her. I'll meet you up on the deck in a bit. But I believe
Very well.
someone had something they wished to say to you beforehand. But I'll be waiting.
Oh,
She'll make her way up to the top of the ship. Meanwhile, and you were addressing Belmer there, Arturo?
Yeah.
Belmer will pause for a moment, look around, and Sir, I'm a dwarf.
I'm so sorry.
No. And he holds up a hand. You know, it's quite all right. We dwarves don't get out a lot. I suppose it can't be fully faulted to you.
Oh no, it's completely on me. I should have known.
Now then, as for, that's a good question. What had I had on my mind? And he pauses for a moment and strokes his beard in thought, and then shakes his head a little bit. I don't quite remember, but there was something. Yes. He looks over towards Luther. Yes, you, Luther.
yes.
You were not one of the ones anticipated to be joining this group. You were a bit of a surprise, and as such, we did not have preparations made and items ready for you. At least
Items?
off the hand. As you know, and he gestures back towards Val over here. As we had things left for Velvexia here, we did not have any of that for you. We didn't know much about you, but what we do have are some interesting trinkets that you might be interested in. If you'd be so kind to join Garda here, and he gestures towards the Blood Hunter, and myself downstairs in the armory.
Very well. One of you will have to lead the way. I don't yet know my way around.
No, of course. Just, I had been meaning to bring this up beforehand, but of course we were interrupted. Anyways, through this door. And the two of them will head out the door and then down the stairs. And then you'll arrive here. There. So, this is the crew deck. There are rooms here. I believe there are any of the ones that you wish to be available are available if you wish to make use of them. The hatches go to the engine and the launch bay. The large door here is the mess hall. The kitchen is upstairs. You can either eat there in the meeting room or down here in the mess hall.
Very well.
At the far back is the captain's quarters. And then right here, and he gestures to the door that's behind you. If you need the facilities, they are there behind you. But across the hall is our destination. We're going to the armory. And Garter gestures you to precede him. Yes. So, we were able a little bit to observe your capabilities in that skirmish before we all ducked below. So, we've seen a little bit what you're capable of, what the others are capable of, and we think that we might have some things that could suit you. if you would be interested, of course. Garter opens up this chest, reaches in, pulls out a small lockbox that he will hand to Belmar, who will set it on the table here. Open it up, turn it towards you, and inside there are an assortment of what look to be rings, necklaces, like amulets, different stones, and he sorts through them and pulls out a couple, and he'll set them down. One of them has this symbol of a like radiant light being held in a triumphant fist, and it's a ring. There is a fist clutching a lightning bolt on a ring. And where did the last one go? And then there is the mark of a religious figure that has like a looks like a full armored knight in fine armor and reverie, fully dressed up, looking resplendent, and it has this symbol that is on the figure's chest that is of a religious figure. That go ahead and make me a religion check real quick.
That's kind of poop.
You don't recognize it immediately. It seems familiar, so you're sure you've seen it before. But he'll set these items down and he'll start gesturing to them. Well, yes, you see, we have first this ring here, clutching the bolt of lightning. That is the Ring of Righteous Fervor. It was once possessed by a crusading knight from far off and away, not from here. They were a air genasi, I believe, yes. But it allowed them to fight unnaturally well. They were able to take on entire swaths of rampaging villains and miscreants that they came across with nary a scratch. And when they delivered divine judgment to individuals, they did so with great ferocity. And he'll slide that over.
Okay.
So I'll link these in chat. You can see what they actually do. And you can take any 1, 2, or 3 of these items that they're going to offer you. If you want to take them all, you can absolutely take them all. Make sure I set the permissions on them.
I'm only actually attuned to one item at the moment, aren't I?
I don't even worry about attunement. I give people so many magic items and do so many different things that attunement, I don't worry about it. I don't do it.
Oh, fair enough.
You guys just get magic items. So you're not limited. So the first one he hands and describes to you is that Ring of Righteous Fervor. And the next one is the triumphant fist clutching like a radiant explosion of light that is also on a ring, and he will slide that one forward. This one here was once worn by an ancient king's god of an elvish house that served in one of the, I believe, and he pauses for a moment, scratches his beard as he tries to remember. Yes, I believe they lived within the Commonwealth and the independent states south of us. But they served as part of the King's Guard and it made them unnaturally fast. They were able to move with such grace and speed that they often were able to anticipate and fight back against dangers before they even truly manifested themselves. It was quite extraordinary. That is the Guardsman's Drive, it is known. And the last one was the symbol of this, like, resplendent-looking knight with a religious symbol on its chest that is part of a, like, charm, like an amulet that hangs off of a necklace. And he holds that up and, holds it out towards you. Yes, and then this one here. This one, and he turns towards Garter, originally came from the Blood Hunters armories. It was donated specifically by Garter here from the chapter within Baron. It is an ancient religious effigy. We believe it is related to the Bear King. But we can't prove it, as it's a symbol that is similar, but does not look to be like any of the main symbols of the Bear King that we know. Though, it is possible we just don't know this one. But it would make you much more robust and much more hardy and defensive. And it gives you just unnatural, unsustained stamina within combat, of course. They are yours to take, any one or all of them, should you wish. Gifted freely. We believe that in your hands they could do quite some good, especially against these rift creatures that we have now found ourselves up against.
My thanks. I'll see if, well, it's convenient I was actually about to engage in some training with, Lady Elise, so I guess I shall see how effective they are.
And the last one there is the Mark of the Divine Champion. You should be able to grab all these from chat, drop them onto your sheet, and they should populate. You should be able to click on them if you want to see what they all do. But for everybody else, the Ring of Righteous Fervor, you have advantage on melee attack rolls as long as you have more than 2 enemies within 5 feet of you. So once you've got 3 people around you, you're making every attack with advantage. And when you do a smite, you add an extra 2d8 damage to it on top of whatever actual spell slots and abilities you use to dump into the Divine Smite's damage. And that also does crit, so if you crit with it, it's an extra 4d8 damage.
Ooh.
The Guardsman's Drive, you have advantage on initiative rolls, as long as you're not surprised. Like, if you get fully ambushed, then you're still just going to roll straight advantage. But as long as you see the fight coming, you're able to react so quick. You have advantage on your initiative. And during that first round of combat, if you target someone who has not acted yet in initiative order, and you attack them and you hit, they also have to make a con save, or they'll be stunned until the end of their next turn. If they make the save, they're not stunned, but they will take an additional 4d4 psychic damage from the attack. And you can use a reaction to give yourself specifically advantage on a dex saving throw, and you can do that 1 time per short rest. And then lastly, the Mark of the Divine Champion. This gives you an extra 10 hit points to your Lay on Hands pool. It also gives you an extra use of Action Surge that you can use 1 time per long rest. And any crits that you now make with any weapon attacks will deal an extra die of their damage to the target.
My goodness.
So not only, you're doing damage, crit damage, you're going to do an extra, like if it's a long sword, it's an extra d8.
Crit with Divine Smite is going to be absolutely devastating now.
Yeah, that's the hope.
Holy Jesus.
Yeah, I want to see some big burst DPS. It's going to be really fucking cool.
It's going to be like a landslide of dice.
Watch me just roll a load of 1s and 2s on my damage rolls for that, though.
That's going to feel bad. You do 13 extra damage with that massive smite. But the few other items
I think I might
that
pocket all of those.
Absolutely, by all means. The few other items that he rummaged through, he's going to put them all back in the lockbox, hand it back to Garter, who will return it to the chest.
You said just drag and drop these on my character sheet?
You should be able to drag them right there from chat on your character sheet, and they should show up in your inventory, yeah.
Cool.
Garter will smile, give you a bit of a quick nod as he turns towards Belmer, and then looks back towards you. Regardless, my friend, good luck with your sparring session with Lady Elise. She is no slouch, so far as I've heard. You can get there just out the door, either set of stairs, get you back up to the flight deck, and from there you can get to the top deck, going through the fore chamber, and taking the stairs up there.
Again, thanks to both of you. I guess I will see the pair of you later in the day. Is there a... What, do we know what time of the day it is at the moment? Roughly speaking?
It is late afternoon. It is getting towards where it's going to start being dark. Probably another hour or two. You've got some time to do some sparring, absolutely.
In that case, I'm just going to ask, is there a fixed time for dinner on this vessel?
Usually around last light, so far as I've noticed. Once the sun sets, meals should be done, ready, prepped, and available.
Very well. I'll keep that in mind. I will see you both later on then.
Belmer will nod and then turn towards Garter, and they will start discussing the armament situation in the room and allow you to leave as you wish. So meanwhile, up here in the meeting room, what's everyone else up to? What's going on, Spark?
Spark would probably just be listening into the other conversations going on. See if he can glean anything on what's going on elsewhere that he can take advantage of.
The captain, after nodding and wishing everybody, good health or whatever, will return to taking care of and captaining the ship. Sedna and Arabella have begun discussing just back and forth between them about a vault. And Vansel has just started wandering around the room. He's looking at the bookshelves and the different cupboards and trophies, just admiring the space. But yeah, if you want to listen to Sedna and Arabella, go ahead, make a perception check. Because they're not whispering, but they're keeping their voices low so that they're not causing a commotion or distracting people. As Sedna and Arabella are talking, you overhear them talking about a vault that they have recently become aware of. Arabella mentions taking some individuals to the vault. Sedna seems to pause for a moment and give her a look of concern and offers condolences before she mentions that she would like to know what it was like to have met the Daughter of Magic. And then Arabella will describe that. So that's going back and forth. It's just having quick discussion about, things that they've been up to lately. It doesn't seem like they know each other, but it does seem like they've become friendly with each other at least. And then Arturo and Val, what are you two up to?
Well, since the Belmer's thing was just to talk to Luther and wasn't anything about the trade, I'm contemplating and maybe thinking out loud about how to deal with the prisoner.
I'm peepo peeking inside that bag to see if the organs have turned to goo yet.
They seem goopy, and they're a little bit darker than they were before, but they haven't liquefied yet, as far as you can tell. They still seem to have their shape that is discernible.
Okay, we're still processing. Closes up the bag, puts it back away. It looks like it's getting there, though.
Well, what exactly are we hoping to get from the goo?
Just confirmation? Like, you ever see more piles of goo just laying on the side of the road? Oh, look, someone died there. Probably somebody from the... Yeah,
true.
you know what we're actually, like, looking at? Pile of goop, random side of the road, splattered on the side of a building. Oh, look, somebody died here. That was, dealing with Oblivion and whatnot.
I hope it's not, like, contagious.
That's why it's in the bag, and I'm not touching it. What's his face had special gloves, so,
But what are we going to do about that guy that we brought on board? Doesn't seem up for talking. I don't really know how to pull information out of a person.
I feel like there are people better suited for that task than us.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I'll beat him up, but I don't know if I'll get any information out of him.
Isn't Sevilius in there with him?
I don't even know where they took him.
Hmm?
The
Clara,
prisoner?
who just entered from the kitchen, sets down a plate of what looks to be like dried meats and cheese, and she's got a massive bottle of wine with her.
Woo!
What about Civilis?
Is he with the prisoner that we took
As far as I know.
Is he versed in, interrogation? Maybe?
She pauses for a moment as she slowly chews a bite. I honestly don't know.
Worth finding out.
Yeah, but he never really came across as like the torturing kind. He was always quite
People
laid
will
back.
surprise you.
I mean, if they're good, they won't need the torture, right?
Oh, that's true. Maybe he's got some magical means of just pulling the truth out without them like fighting back.
Or
But,
people can surprise you.
She swallows a bite and just points at the door and gestures this direction. But yeah, he's, out there through the hall towards the back of the ship. You'll go through the armory and the smithery, and then I think he's in the lab.
Oh, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I don't need like a nap. I'm not that hungry. I might go in and have a little investigate and see what he's up to.
She lifts up the bottle and gestures towards Val. There's more in the kitchen.
I will get that after and then, she's gonna follow, Arturo, because, ship, flying, air, ah!
Sup, Farrell? How's it hanging?
My God.
This man said, how's it hanging?
Farrell, who seems to be in the middle of working on something, just slowly arches a brow and looks at you as you cross across the room, not saying anything.
I heard some of the young elves talk like that when I was away. I guess it doesn't caught up over here yet.
I'm sorry, he's a little weird.
as you step in here, so Velius is currently working. He has a few like bottles open. He's got some powders and some pouches of stuff and some bowls going on, and he seems to be working. He's doing stuff with magic, tinkering and magicking around. And in the corner, there is the prisoner who is currently in a cage. Ah, Arturo, hello.
Civilius, how's it going? Has it caused any problems?
No. But then I don't think he can from in there.
True. Have they like, said anything at all? That isn't a childish remark?
No, he's been rather quiet, but I mean, frankly, I've just been ignoring him. I've been working over here. Look at this.
Oh,
This is some of that, the remains that we brought back. Look at this. And he pours some sludge-looking substance into one of the bowls from another bowl. Here, I have some powder here. This is refined Arcanus. Specifically, I believe this is, and he gives it a little bit of a sniff. Ah, yes. Cold element infused. And he sprinkles it onto the sludge. And while the sludge seems to diminish, like it shrinks up, like it's shriveling, the powder is also vanishing, like it's dissipating, like burning away. Look at that! Isn't that extraordinary?
Yeah, that doesn't... Because usually, like, if it was absorbing it, you'd think it'd like get bigger, but it's not.
It looks like they're, on a very basic level, canceling each other out. One is shriveling the other to non-existence, while itself is being burned up and dissolved. It's fascinating. Pure, refined magic energy from, well, I suppose, I hope it's offensive to say, from our reality, met with the flesh of creatures from their reality, from Pandemonius' reality. The two seem to cancel each other out.
So,
It's fascinating.
so is there some sort of like innate magical resistance in these goo creatures?
I think so. And I think even further is that this, and he shakes the bowl so like the goop in it like wobbles. Whatever this is, whatever makes these things them, when they come into contact with the pure, unrefined version of our reality, you know, the fact that, you know, life itself made up of the 12 Archon elements, all of it, they seem to be antithesis to each other.
So the longer they're in our reality, they're basically getting sick?
I think it's a bit of that, yes. And I think that them being here is also slowly corroding our reality.
Oh, that's not good.
Here, let me demonstrate. And he will pick up a coin that you can see on the table there, and he will cast the light spell upon it and carefully drop it into the goop. Now observe. And it seems like for a little bit nothing happens until you can see the light flicker, just very subtly. And at the same time that the light flickers, the goop seems to, at one corner, one edge of it, like decay and turn brittle and like break off into dust. There, did you see that?
Oh, I mean, I absolutely saw it, but Mr. Velius, what does it all mean?
I do have zero idea, but it's fascinating. That
It's
is
very cool.
a very simple cantrip, just cast upon a very simple element of a gold coin, dropped into this goop, and then after even just a little bit of time, the two of them so close together, so mixed as they are, the magic energy seems to burn away. Now, I don't know if this is Anything feasible? Like if we took like, one of the cannons on the ship, loaded with coins, with the light spell cast upon them, and fired at the behemoth?
Oh.
I don't know if that would do anything. Possibly other than piss it off and, well, waste a lot of money. But it's fascinating.
Well, we could use copper pieces.
I suppose that's a possibility as well. Good thinking.
Can I try something?
If you may. Wait. What are you going to do?
Well, can I not just do it? Well, okay, fine, I'll tell you. Well, I've got these seeds and stuff, and because Oblivion and life energy, that they don't get along even more so than just regular magic energy, right?
True.
All right, well, watch this. Now cast, like, Druidcraft onto the seed and then throw the seed in the goop.
And what are you druid crafting on the seed? What are you doing?
I'm basically trying to make it, like, immediately bloom into whatever the seed would fully grow into. But
That's what I thought you were going to do. All right, cool.
Shove it into the goop and then let it grow from there.
Civilius watches as you do this, nodding as you do, as he gets what you're about to do, and he's, he's approving. He's like, yeah, do it. All this is fascinating. You cast this druidcraft to cause these seeds to bloom as soon as, you tell them to. And you stick them into this goop, and they start to bloom. And what you see shocks you. The bowl that it's in cracks down the middle, shatters into two pieces. The goop seems to fizzle away into thin air, and the plants wither into dust almost instantly.
Oh. I got rid of all your goop, I'm sorry.
No, by all means, Did you see that?
Like, it literally did cancel each other out, just on a huge amount, like a much bigger scale.
And the resulting leftover energy opened a rift in reality and shoved the wrongness, and he gestures at the bowl and like the little remnant of goo that's still there, and shoved it back through. I don't know how we'll find a seed big enough or manage to plant it inside of Pandemonius, but that's an idea.
I'm going to write that down.
You may have just found something quite fascinating that could give us quite an edge.
Indeed. I mean, I could talk to Lily and see if she knows about any like really big seeds.
That is an idea, and it does give me another idea for our reluctant guest.
Oh,
You tried to bring them back, correct, from the brink.
Yes, like just like normal,
it
like a
fit.
revivify. Yeah.
I wonder if that's because the magic was cancelled out by some form of Oblivion energy. And if perhaps we concentrated enough natural living magic and channeled it into them, could we then open a rift there and send them through?
Maybe.
But, and he looks down at the bowl, now cracked in half. But would it be smart to do so? The resulting reaction could deal damage to, well, no, our world for one, but could leave a lasting scar on reality itself. We may need to be careful in this, Arturo.
Right, of course. Careful. Absolutely. My middle name.
Yes,
From now
yes, I
on.
knew I could trust you and count on you. Sylvia smiles and looks towards Velvex. And you, my dear, how are you faring?
She's just staring at, like, the stuff because she doesn't, like, it's only half making sense to her.
He gestures towards the small window in the room. Have you taken a look at the view outside? It's magnificent.
Nope.
I wouldn't. Not a big flyer.
Oh. You may want to stay below decks then.
Yep. In other news, the organs that I have in the bag, are on their way to Black Goop. So, I'd say it's safe to say if we find Black Goop anywhere, say like the side of the road, how long has it been since how long have we been in the air?
A few hours at this point.
Okay. So it's safe to say, I guess, if we find any black goop on the side of the road, that is a dead body. At least a couple of hours decayed? Question mark?
He nods as if fully understanding. Did you want to keep those? Did you want to leave them here so
Oh
I
yeah,
might be
you
able
can
to
keep
study them
them.
more? I have. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I feel
He
weird
goes-
carrying organs around in my pack.
He bows graciously and will take them from you happily.
So, Arturo, did you say that you saw piles of black goop on the way to the meeting?
Oh, no, this was a while ago. It was before the scarring and everything.
Oh. Well, now you know those were dead bodies. Dead body.
Well, that's kind of confusing though, because they didn't have permanence then. When you killed them, they vanished. So I don't.
Did
No,
you
what
kill those
if-
specifically?
No, it was just goop.
It was just there already.
Yes. So
Not
but like
alive
every
goop.
other. No, it was just
So
just
maybe
gooing
those
around.
were the start.
Maybe. Oh, so Felice, do you know whether if we are flying, what was the name of the town again? Who makes bricks? Killingen? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's where I found the goop. Are we flying over Killingen on the way to the behemoth? Do you know?
No, as far as I understand, our current flight path took us from Vector a little bit north, somewhat east, and we're in a holding pattern, circling while we plan and rest and recuperate before we make an actual assault. We're going to be following along parallel to the Rift Behemoth, as far as I know.
I see. Because we did leave the goop with them to sort of experiment on their own and try and figure out what it was. But now we kind of know what it is. But it just doesn't make sense because it shouldn't have been able to exist then by everything we know so far.
Well, I will tell you this much. I will, and he gestures towards the sack of organs. I will do my experimentations. I will take a look, see what I can learn. If I learn more, I will definitely let you know. I have some theories, but I want to test them before I voice them.
Okay, sounds good.
Sure.
Just out of, curiosity, you don't happen to be versed in, say, interrogation, would you?
He blinks his eyes and just stares at you for a moment. I don't... What do you mean?
Like, you didn't get taught how to, interrogate somebody? Get answers out of someone? Without, waiting?
I am mostly a researcher and mostly interested in ancient elven civilizations of this world, but I do know how to inflict pain on individuals. Yes.
See, there's a start. Do you know if there's anybody that is actually practiced and versed in interrogation, tactics on board?
Or maybe just knows how to make a truth serum.
That too.
And he pauses for a moment and tilts his head and thinks, I honestly don't know. And I just now realized that. I don't know much about any of these individuals, other than desperate times have brought us all together.
We could always go around and ask.
Yeah, it's true. I really hope we don't have to resort to just, like, beating him up a lot.
Oh, no. As I said, I know a thing or two about pain.
All right. Well, maybe we'll bring you in first.
He'll lean forward and put a hand on Arturo's shoulder, giving it a friendly squeeze. Let me just say, have you ever cast entanglement underneath someone's fingernails?
Oh, that is devilish.
Or perhaps under their skin?
I never thought that was possible. I always thought it had to be, like, on the ground. Oh.
Little imagination and a little dirt, you can get wild things to happen.
So, like, is it possible, like, maybe I could cast enlarge on a person, but only their eyes, so it squeezes against their skull and it's really painful?
With some refinement and some practice, yes.
All right. Don't tell Lily I said that. She's already heard me saying weird things and it's not going well.
Imagine if you just reduce one leg, what might happen?
I probably fell over.
Sevelius just nods and smiles.
Oh, we've not had a chance to catch up, but I learned some more stuff about my dad.
Have you? That's magnificent. What have you
Yes.
learned?
Well, apparently he went over to the Elven Kingdoms as well to learn about becoming a world druid and all of that stuff, and apparently even went into the Fey realm to explore and find something there. And that's where the trail kind of went cold again. So I know we've got a lot going on, but I kind of need to get into the Fey realm and try and figure out what he was doing there. I don't know if he's still even there. Maybe.
Oh. If it's into the Fey realm, you need to go. I may know a way.
Oh. But is it like... Is it an easy way? Like, well, no, I'm not trying to just take the easy path. I say out loud towards, like, the Raven Queen. That's what I mean. But, like, is it going to, like, ruin everything for everybody else if I just, trot off?
If you were to abandon all of this and just go off against the Fae, I don't know if it would ruin everything, but it certainly wouldn't make things better.
That's true, but I just don't feel like we really have the time. I think things seem really of the essence right now, but I really do want to go.
Understandable. And no, unfortunately, it is not an easy way. But he makes a strange face for a moment as he considers. It may be related.
To who? Well, hopefully he's my dad.
No. To everything. You see, the path that I may know to get you to the Fey realm is one that the ancient elves, the ones whose ruins, those laboratories, the Oblivion labs were part of. It is something that I have learned about, researching and studying and following their history. They had ways to get around, and I think there may be a means to get to the Feywild. But it is not going to be easy, no.
Well, if it's not easy, it's not worth doing, so... No, wait.
Exactly,
if it is
my
easy,
friend.
it's not worth doing. I'll have to think about it a bit more. Maybe once we've dealt with the behemoth, we'll have a bit more time.
Ah, yes, perhaps. When we catch our breath. That will give me some time to gather my notes for you. I could give you all the research and all the references I know to it.
I would love that. Thank you.
It's the damnedest thing, though.
It
It references a door.
Oh.
Like there's just a door to it. But I don't know.
Oh.
Perhaps you'll be able to make some sense of it.
Well, I did go through a door once and ended up in a different plane of existence already. But I wasn't in charge of the door.
He opens his mouth a couple times as if to say something, but doesn't seem to have a response to that. And just finally, well, suppose none of us do have control of the doors. Ever? They either open or don't they?
That's true. Maybe I could talk to the Archons about this. Learn more about the door thing.
And he nods at you, giving you another friendly pat on the shoulder.
I should really probably throw this past Spark.
Of course, as you wish. I'll be here. I've got some more to play around with, and he squishes the bag of guts.
I will have fun. If you see anything cool, come and find me. I want to see too.
No, absolutely, absolutely.
Is the guy awake?
He is. He's just been watching the whole time.
Are you hungry or thirsty or anything? Want some goo?
I would not like any goo. No, thank you.
All right. Well, it's nice to see you have your manners back. If you need anything, just holler.
Of course. Hey, Spark, what have you been up to?
I mean, he's literally just been listening in and observing the people in the room, while also just kind of thinking about the weird feelings he's been having about, I don't know, the other versions of himself. They seem a little more fragmented than usual.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Clara has just been enjoying her snack. She seems to just be relaxing, taking some time to just not for the moment. Meanwhile, Sedna and Arabella are just, again, continuing small talk, chit-chatting. They've moved on to more mundane topics at this point. Mostly discussing Arabella's home, her recent loss of her sister, how her village has been doing, etc. Vansel has found some reading and has made his way to the table, and he's sitting down reading. And it appears to be a book on military tactics.
That seems fitting.
And eventually Arturo and Valvexia return.
Hey Spark, how's it going?
Oh, same old, same old.
Sibelius has discovered that the goo hates magic of like all kinds, and depending on what kind of magic you do, it like shrivels and like decays and stuff. But it also kind of destroys the magic that touches it at the same time. That like destroy each other at once.
So, the antithesis of this goo is magic?
Like the pure, like unrefined magic, or refined magic, I should probably. I think it's the pure magic that does it. But then we tried doing like a druid crafty seed and put it in, and then it just like kind of just blew everything up and broke the bowl that it was in. It was real cool.
That seems important somehow.
That's what Sevelius said.
Also
Is it-
dangerous.
Yeah, he did say something about it, like leaving like like shattering reality and leaving a big scar in reality and stuff. You know, very dramatic.
You mean like what with happened with Pandemonius coming back?
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But instead of like just the planet cracking, it would be like, you know, space and time.
So, where do these things go exactly when they collide, I guess?
Well, I didn't see a rift when it happened, but Svelis has got really good eyes. But I've got great eyes, and I didn't think I saw it. It looked like they just destroyed each other, but apparently a tiny rift opened, and like the magic threw the goo back or something. Like
Back
it threw it
where?
like back through, like wherever the goo came from. I don't know.
Well, Do we know that for sure?
No, it was like that was like the first experiment, kind of. So he's going to look into it a bit more.
Well, better him than me. That seems above my pay grade.
Absolutely, he was saying a lot of things that I nodded at. I pretended I understood. He usually prefers it when I do that.
That tracks with most academics I know.
And also the prisoners being weirdly polite.
Well, we're not torturing him, so
That's true.
by that respect, he's probably, doing just fine.
I asked if he was hungry or thirsty, and he was like, "No, I'm fine, thank you." Like he minded his P's and Q's and everything.
Do they eat?
I actually have no idea. It just seemed like the nice thing to do. We did kill him, Could at least give him a meal.
I mean, we don't have to.
Oh, also, just throwing it out there, like maybe once we've killed this, like the behemoth, maybe we could go to the Feywild for a couple of days. What do you think about that?
Why in God's name would we go to the Feywild?
Oh well, so maybe my dad's there. Maybe.
Where did you get this idea?
So while I was away on my summer trip doing the whole world druid training thing, I found out that my dad visited as well and was like looking for some sort of power or ability or something like that that led him to the Feywild, and then he vanished. So I'm presuming he's still there, maybe?
So you want to go after him in the Feywild?
Yeah, pretty much.
Without any assurance that he's actually there.
Well, it's kind of my best shot. It's like all the information I have after all the looking I've done. This is the closest I've came to anything.
I mean, I suppose, how do you intend to get to the Feywild?
Well, Sevilius said that there was a way, but he didn't really fully understand or know, like with most things. But apparently we just need a door. Sound familiar?
Yeah, why don't you just go open that door over there?
Okay. All right. To the Feywild, and I'll open the door.
It opens into the kitchen.
Right. Well, worth a shot.
I mean, honestly, it kind of was. Maybe there's more of a trick to it. Maybe you need to believe harder.
That's true. It was. I was kind of nonchalant about it. Well, when the Archons did it, that's all they did. They just opened the door, and then the library was there.
Yeah, but they're like the embodiments of power. They barely have to think and things happen.
Yeah, that's true.
Not that I'm suggesting you open a door into the Feywild here.
Yeah, that
on
would
the
actually could have been
airship.
really bad if it did work.
Not that I was going to stop you, but
that could have been terrible. Why did you let me do that?
yeah. I'm just curious if it would work.
Yeah, that's true. I'll try again tomorrow.
Isn't that your whole thing? Experimentation, trying things out?
It's worked pretty well so far. Well, like some caveats.
Has it though?
Yeah. We're all here. Well, okay. We're not all here. But most of us in spirit.
All right, tell you what. After we deal with the Rift Behemoth, we can go try another door. And really put your back into it or whatever.
Sounds good. I'm going to meditate on this until I do the door opening. So all I'm thinking about is the Feywild.
Okay. And if this totally throws us off with our plan against Pandemonius, it's your fault.
I take full responsibility. But who knows? Maybe all the fey creatures will help. I mean, most of my power comes from the Feywild. Like all my healing-y stuff that I do.
Havoc, how terrible of an idea do you think it would be to involve the Fey into this?
Wait, who did you ask?
Havoc.
I mean... And Havoc pauses for a moment, as he seems to really consider the question.
Wait, you're thinking about this?
They live a good prank, and what's a better prank than like stopping the world ending when someone really wants it to?
I mean... And he looks up at Arturo and like blinks his eyes in surprise. Yeah, I mean, the kid's right. Like, that's kind of it. That there's so much chaos and insanity going on here on Hatoria that, like, that could actually work.
Weren't you like bigger?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just making sure I'm not hallucinating being up this high.
No. I'm travel size right now. Fit in the palm of your hand, if you know what I mean.
Sorry. That was...
But, yeah, I mean, honestly, if we got, like, got to the Feywild, we find some, Fey folk, and we're like, hey, we got this whole situation with, like, someone trying to unmake, everything, and wouldn't it be a great prank if, like, we unmade them instead, and, you've met pixies and shit, right?
They love
haven't you?
irony.
Yeah, see? They be all over this.
Where, remind me where the Fae fit in our whole other war going on?
Oh, yeah, the Archfae, she's on our side. We're good.
Oh, alright.
Yeah, it's just the other one. It's that other one guy from the Fae that we can't say the name of.
The Underking.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say Underking. That's why the title
Well,
exists.
Nah, yeah, I know, but I prefer to say the proper name, so
Yeah,
I don't say anything.
Yeah, don't.
I
do
mean, yeah,
that.
don't say the proper name. Then he's gonna
That's what I meant.
he's like show up and be like, hey, you want a real prank? How about your ship just cracks in half? Now that would be a prank.
No, it wouldn't.
It's fine, I'm right here, I'll be an owl.
Did you say you were
I got
gonna be an
wings.
owl?
No, I said I will be an owl if the ship cracks in half, and then I can save you.
I tell you what, if the ship's cracking in half and it's going down, I'm gonna get big. I'll grow the big wings, and I will save all of you. How's that?
Oh, you have big wings?
Yeah, did you see him?
I was-
Yeah,
I
did
was-
you see him?
I was inside as a bear for most of it.
Oh, that's a good point. You missed out. Not to brag, but I'm fucking got it going on. You know what I'm saying?
I don't doubt it. I heard great things.
Yeah. See, the kid knows. He's been around. You just ask him, Val. He knows.
Sure.
I have seen some things.
Huh?
Yeah, see?
Define some things.
Well, this one time, our old friend got a lady to have sex with me on the first day I met her. It was
Huh?
wild.
Yeah.
Wait. You had to
it's
have
true.
somebody help you have sex with somebody?
Well, I didn't ask. She just did it on her own volition, with like not even asking me if I was okay with it.
I mean, you've known him for several
He just
hours.
totally
How
did.
does that shock you?
You know, that's a very good point. No offense.
I mean, yeah. No offense or anything.
Have you told Lilthus
Are you
this
trying?
story?
Are you trying to offend me? Wait, what?
Oh my god. Okay, never mind. It all makes sense. Continue with your story.
Oh, that was kind of it.
Oh.
Well, we found this lady on the side of the road, and she was poor, and then we made it not poor and got her a job and somewhere to live. And then later
Uh-huh.
that night, we did the thing.
Okay, and your friend had to help you get
Yeah.
to that point?
Well, I wasn't going to do it on my own.
Why not? I'm sorry. You have to understand from the point of somebody that's worked at a brothel. This is a very odd conversation to have.
Well, I'd never done it before. I didn't even know how to broach the subject.
It was your first. Oh my god.
course it was my first time. I'd lived with my mother till then.
Oh boy. Okay, everything's starting to click together like pieces of a puzzle. We need to get you to a good brothel. Maybe Yuthay will you know, I'm sure there's a girl or two that'll handle the lead. Oh wait, no, you have. Never mind. You're handled. Wait, how does that work
problem
out?
solved now. What?
How do you and
How do we?
You and
what?
Your fiance?
Yes,
Exactly
wonderful.
how you imagine.
I'm so glad Luther isn't around for this conversation.
A delightful woman.
Does she turn into like human?
No, she can't do that.
So how do you guys do the do?
Have
How do you fondue?
done this before?
Not with her kind, no.
Well, it's kind of just the same as everybody else.
But
I put my thing in her thing.
where's her? Oh, hold on. Never mind. Don't answer that. I don't want to know anymore.
I mean, sometimes if we want to have fun, I'll turn into something.
Oh, okay. See that? That
oh
makes
my
sense.
god, it's Halcyon 2.0.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I'm okay. Okay, see that makes sense. Okay, never mind. I have the okay. I understand
you
now.
Start with that. You have to develop some kind of relationship before you throw that kind of thing out there.
Okay, but you and then you know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna. No. Mm-mm.
I know I like the kid.
I've grown too, Havoc.
You would fit in and have so much fun in the Hells. I'm just saying. You'd have
I
a blast.
really want to go.
Oh, we'll go. Like one day, I'm sure.
We're going to the Hells.
Would he though? He's a nearly married man now.
Yeah, that's why it'd be so great.
Bachelor
Okay,
party.
Oh, you have a point.
I do have to have a bachelor
I'd have a
party.
blast.
Bachelor party in the hells.
Oh my god, now we're fucking talking. That's what. Someone, write that down.
All right, forget
I
the
don't know.
Feywild. We know what we're doing after the Rift Behemoth.
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't know. I don't know Luther that well, but I don't know how he's gonna feel about that.
Ooh, how do you think Luther would do in the hills?
Is he not a big partier?
Considering he found me because he was hunting me down for my family, you know, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I barely, like, the length of time that I have known Luther has been from that city that Yuthay is in to where we all met.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. Like, I haven't got a good read on him yet. He may be totally down. Boss will help take care of him. You know, send some of the girls down.
To be fair, though, I think he
Nobody
was
can
making
resist the
Google eyes
girls.
at the lady night upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's kind of badass. She got like that mommy-dommy energy. I dig it. You know, I'm not into it, but I dig it.
Oh, is that what they meant by training?
You know, I thought it was, but
I
I'm
hope so.
starting to suspect. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Luther's a little hard to read. You know, he has that, like, that face. That face.
You do got a face.
That kind of face.
He's
But
no
yeah.
Carl, but you never know.
Who's Carl?
Here's the point. We should go to the Feywild. This sounds like a good time.
It'd be a great time.
Yeah.
Who's Carl?
Don't worry
Oh.
about it.
He's a good friend. Still alive.
Oh,
Wow, Arthur.
okay.
Wow. Just wow.
Something about that last statement makes me doubt, but okay.
Right? Like saying, like having to call it out. Like this obvious. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
so he died horribly, didn't he?
Oh.
It's like, yeah, I mean, my friend, totally single. Not trying to cheat on her husband or anything. See what I mean? It sounds suspicious, doesn't it?
Yeah, okay, he's dead.
Okay. Rest in peace, your friend.
Probably not. He was cursed when he died, so.
Okay. Rest in pieces, your friend, I guess. I don't...
Yeah, pretty much dust, I think.
Rest in R.I.D.
Yeah, he effectively did kind of disintegrate on the spot, right?
Yikes.
Yeah,
Or did he
yeah.
disappear?
Well, it's kind of the same thing.
Mark that way down in ways I wish not to die.
It seemed kind of peaceful until like the whole vanishing thing, and then his necklace hit the ground.
Vanishing thing?
Oh yeah, he saw a
So
body
did
vanish.
he-
That's why I couldn't bring him back.
So did he disintegrate? Like, turn to
Well,
dust?
you
Or
know.
did he just disappear? Because one gives you hope. The other one just kind of...
I guess it was just fully disappeared because I tried scooping and there was nothing to scoop. So
Yeah, but it was
Scoopy.
pretty clear there was no recovery.
Yeah. His soul energy was dispersed to return to the life stream, and so therefore the magic that held his living corporeal body in place, vaporized.
That still
So, like-
sounds a lot better than disintegrated.
I mean, that's essentially what it was, but you know, you didn't feel any of it. So
yeah,
there's
he's
that.
pretty chill about the whole thing. We
You
talked
guys
about it in
know,
the
you
dream.
guys know about that disintegrate spell, right? Like the thing where it just goes pew, and then you just...
Well, no. This wasn't like that. Like that is painful as hell.
That's what I'm
Holy
saying.
shit, man! You want to torture someone? That's how you do it. You burn off like their feet.
Does anyone on the ship know disintegrate for the prisoner?
We're gonna disintegrate the prisoner? I thought we were interrogating him.
I mean, actually,
Oh yeah, as part of the.
That's like,
interrogation.
but that's like promised death. That then he doesn't have a reason to give us any answers. He's just gonna die.
You just like start at the foot, like disintegrate his toes or something.
I'm not sure that's how that works.
it can.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
So you
See?
start at his toes, and then you threaten his pee-pee, and then he gives
Oh,
us
that's
answers.
a good one. Someone write that down.
I'm so glad your fiance is not here for this. She probably thinks we're super
Me
weird.
too.
She's just got her ear up to the door. She's listening in.
I mean, yeah, it's just like standard, you know, torture tactics. You start with something small, like extremity, something's gonna hurt.
Wasn't
Some of
there
them
something
remember it. They
about,
understand that it was pain.
Wasn't
Then
there
you move
something
on to
about
things that,
entanglement
like-
under the fingernails?
Oh yes,
Oh,
Aviv
that's a
had
good
some,
one too.
He had some wild ideas.
I told you he was. I told you, so people surprise you.
Oh, and another one. Well, this was my idea. Was casting enlarged, but just on the eyeballs, so they squeeze against the skull.
Ooh, bad migraine.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Does Spark notice if the others are listening?
Everyone at the table is silent and staring at you.
Okay, that's what I thought.
See, we should probably be having this conversation telepathically, but instead we're being stupid about it and kind of...
Oh yeah, the whole telepathic thing.
Everyone else is just quietly looking around for their panic button.
Oh, you know what's a really good one? Really good one. Hit this one. Oh man, this one fucks with people. It's a spell. I don't know where you can find it and learn it anymore, but it was a spell. I've come across it a couple times in the hells. Like, you know, not cast on me or anything, but I see it cast. It's called painful orgasms. So the next time they get off, oh, it hurts.
Is that like a permanent thing?
Yeah. And then you can just like command them to do it, like, you know, on demand. You're like, do it now. And then they're like, and then and then it's so funny.
So this is like a curse?
Yeah, it's basically like a curse effect, I guess.
Looking
Where
across
did you
at everybody
encounter
else.
this?
I told you the hells.
I mean, more specifically?
Well, specifically, there was this demon, male presenting. I think he identified him. Not sure, didn't ask. But he did some things. He was probably very much in the wrong when he did it. But there was this like crazy powerful sorceress lady, and she didn't appreciate it. Like apparently they shacked up a couple of times or something. You know, they had a thing going on, and I don't know. He did something. He pissed her off, right? And so she did it to him, and it was just funny seeing him like, you know, fall over there in the street, just you know, pain, like, you know, blood everywhere. He's just screaming. He was like, it hurts every time. Ah! It was good stuff.
Interesting.
I'm glad I asked. Thank you, Happy.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So what about you guys? Any fun torture tactics?
What is this conversation?
For context, it's for the prisoner. So, you know,
Oh yeah,
totally valid for the conversation that we've been having.
not just in general, specifically for that guy over there.
Sedna and Arabella just, again, stare blankly and slowly shake their heads. Clara shrugs one shoulder as she continues chewing. I made no thing or two. Yeah, why?
We need answers.
Yeah, share the
Vansel
group.
seems
Come
to be
on.
pointedly ignoring the conversation
Look,
suddenly.
this is why we have to have this conversation, okay? Because, like, this is not what we do, clearly.
Yeah,
so
never
we
done
need
this before.
information. If any of you know somebody that is practicing the art of interrogation on this ship, now would be the time to say so.
Oh, you know, there's a lot of blood hunters, yeah, that are good at this. You know who's really good at this? Terrace.
Who?
Oh. Wait, where is Terrace?
Oh.
He She just shakes her head.
Oh. Well, that sucks.
So what I'm hearing is we need that blood hunter guy.
He is gone.
No, the one that was just here.
Oh, Garter and I both, being blood hunters, we know a thing or two,
So you can do it.
I suppose.
No problem solved. Who needs entanglement under the fingernails? We have her.
Oh, that's a good one.
See, now you get it. Now you understand the conversation. You're not as concerned. You understand. So, what answers do we need again?
So while they're doing all this down here, up on the upper deck there, Luther and Elise, what are you trying to do? Do you want to like combat spar? You want to like go arms to arms? You want to wrestle? What are we looking to do?
Hey, you're wrestling? No, combat sparring.
Okay. All right, so the deck seems to be, and I unfortunately don't have a map of this yet. It's been a pain to try and get it done. I haven't been happy with it yet. But anyway, so up on the deck, there's this wonderful view, of course. You can see the mountains to the north of the hegemony, and then the wide valleys, the river, the King's Road, and all the small villages and towns and everything going south. This part of the greater Himalaya. So it's just this wonderful view up top. And there is, of course, as you might expect, wind every once in a while, but it's not too overwhelming, this wind, not at the moment. Since you're in a bit of a holding pattern, you're moving fairly slowly in this circle. You don't seem to be moving very far east, west, north, or south. You're just in this nice little area that every once in a while you see, the same landscapes moving around underneath. So if you want, you can absolutely get some combat sparring with Elise. As you get up there, she is not wearing her armor. You see, she's taken it off, set it to the side. She's wearing what looks to be like very nice padded leather. She's got her shield and her sword still with her, and she's got her hair tied back so it's out of her face. And she, nods to you and takes a defensive stance and gestures towards you with her finger on one hand with her sword in it, and tells you, just like, come on, take a shot. Let's see how skilled you are. So if you want to go ahead and make an attack roll.
In before. Woo, she took it off.
All right. A 2 on the die. Your first swing, you're not super used to fighting, obviously, yet on the deck of an airship. It does take a little bit to get used to, perhaps. The openness, the wind, it's a little bit different than just being on a normal ship, and even that takes some time and getting used to. So you give this swing that's not well aimed, and she is able to easily turn it aside and shift it away with her shield, and she comes in and swings at you. But it's one of those where you know she's not going to like fully connect. She's just trying to give you an example, like show you this is what might have happened had we been enemies, kind of thing. And the steel of her sword will just lay next to your throat as she nods at you. A fairly competent swing. You'll be able to compensate and get used to the airship in time, but hopefully we won't have to do much of the actual fighting on board, because even I, every once in a while, run into issues doing that. So, go ahead, step back. Try it again. And she will disentangle herself, move her shield back, move her sword back, step up, and once again take a defensive stance and gesture you to go ahead and try again.
One sec, my foundry is being funny.
Are we just going to ignore the fact that she has a
Oh,
plus
yeah.
17 to her attack?
What was the magical key combo?
Control
Control
F5.
I may have to resort to that in a moment.
You better be hydrating. I have Arizona green tea.
Man, let me know if you're able to get back in.
Oh, there we go, finally.
Nice.
Yeah, it got a bit scary for a moment. Anyway. He will take another swing.
Absolutely.
That's better.
Hell yeah, that's a hell of a swing, too. She watches as you come stepping in once more. This time it is this well-practiced, well-aimed swing. And you see her eyes open just a little bit wider. Just that sheer moment of surprise as she's like, oh, he's very good. And then it's, gone after just that split second. And once more the professional soldier takes over. And she, instead of deflecting with the shield, she will turn into and let the sword hit against the pad and will swing back at you as she does so. And her reply swing is a little bit sloppy, a little bit off target, and she will miss you as she slices up, trying to, break the connection between you two with her own sword. And then she will start laughing and then step back once more, and she bows to you. You are indeed quite skilled. Well done. A good hit, and you're limber and able to dodge. I like that. You would make a fine soldier. I think we may even have some luck on our side having you on the team. Very well. Enough practicing and dancing around. Let's just spar. And she will set down her shield and her sword and raise her hands to go just unarmed fist to fist. And she will gladly, if you're willing, box you.
Very well. I will do the same. I will set down my sword and shield and make myself ready.
Punch her in the tit!
No!
And she will absolutely spend however much time you want to up there continuing to spar with you. She'll even, pick up weapons again if you want to do so. She's just very much enjoying having someone who is apparently able to not only keep up with her, but even overcome her defenses on the occasion.
I would say we go until dinner.
Okay. So they're up there having a nice little sparring session. Down below in the meeting room, there is suddenly a chill each of you feel this ripple, like it just moves through you, of just cold, of nothing, of void. And then there's the sound of rolling thunder. And two of the Archons arrive. We chased what we could, as far as we could, before they once more crossed back into the rift. That was a well-timed, well-planned, well-executed attack. Their numbers and their composition. Whoever it was has known about this meeting since, likely, the very early stages. We shall have to be on our guards. What have we missed?
Well, you all know how to make an entrance.
Oh, you know, some casual talk about torture techniques.
That wasn't going to be my first response, but technically true.
Yeah. We managed to take a prisoner.
Keely will nod just matter-of-factly at that. Good. They may require torture in order to get any information out of them.
Finally!
Do not, by any means, hold back. These individuals have already sided with Oblivion itself. They are ready for the end of all existence. There's almost nothing that you could possibly threaten them with, save unending, impossible pain. So I recommend starting there.
Should I just go in and start talking to them for half an hour or so? People always say that's painful.
I mean,
Keely
it's a start.
curls a brow.
I mean, I literally talked a statue into coming to life once, so...
You are interesting, at least, young Aleph. She bows a little.
Thank you. Return the bow.
Maybe leave it to the blood hunters then.
I do believe the plan is to assault the Rift Behemoth. Correct?
Yes. From
The
within.
Archons shall be on hand for that. We shall assist with all that we can.
Oh, I just thought, isn't there a way that we can get Kuba to just go into people's minds and figure out who the traitor is?
I think she pauses for a moment. The hesitation is obvious. I think that is something that technically could be possible, but I don't know if it is something that Kuba would do.
Yeah, it is quite invasive, I suppose.
Is war not invasive? I think
I
the
don't.
situation calls for it.
There is some merit to what you say, but... And trust me, these are conversations we have had before. We've been in this war for a long time. And I do believe Kuba's initial response was that there should be a small amount of agency offered to all mortals, even if it is agency that they use to try and end their ability to even have agency. Because doing otherwise, entering people's minds, forcing them to do things, that's not existence. It's not what we're here to protect and save. That's enslavement. That's torture. That's what everything we fight against is here to do.
Not trying to force anyone to do anything. We're trying to figure out who's lying and who's threatening the end of the world. So...
And again, I do agree, and I am on your side in this matter. I believe any means necessary should be taken to ensure the continued existence of creation and all that we hold dear. The other Archons, after all, we didn't always agree on everything and didn't always see eye to eye. Kuba, in this case, would likely turn you down for the reasons that it removes the agency of the individual to act as they would. And she seems to just shrug and shake her head.
I get it, but don't like it.
I don't know.
Exactly.
It seems a bit, the needs of the many versus the needs of one. So,
Spark looks to the Oblivion Archon. So I don't know if we've got a name from you that we can call you without, I don't know, causing problems. What can we call you?
She moves from her spot and takes the chair, sitting in it very properly. You may refer to me as Myru, if it is necessary. Oblivion Archon, Lady Oblivion, whatever. As long as I know you are addressing me, I will respond if I can. And now, she turns towards Valvexia.
huh?
The needs of the many versus the needs of the few. If we'd paid attention to that and followed that to the letter, I would not be here sitting before you as I am now. There is something to be said about respecting even bad choices that mortals make.
How about bad choices immortals make?
Each of us is fallible. None of us is perfect. Except perhaps Ari. He's very close to it. I am the reason the Archons did not complete their task. The pandemonious yet lingers, and that we are here to deal with this problem today. And for that, I apologize to each and every one of you. She shrugs softly. I wasn't ready to die. I wanted to live.
I have been wanting to ask you about that. Exactly how did that all go down?
Folding her hands in front of her politely, she rests them in her lap, staring at them quietly for a moment. Keely shifts uncomfortably. And then finally, Myru will look up at Spark. That story is one that we'll visit later, in its full entirety, when the time is necessary for you to understand. What I will tell you now, I hope will suffice for at least a time. I am not of the realm Pandemonius and his Oblivion forces consider home. I am of your realm. But I am also Oblivion as far as the energy and the embodiment of its powers go. There is a paradox that allows me to exist, and that stopped the hand of the Archons from eradicating Pandemonius. And that is that without everything, nothing can exist. And I mean that in both the literal, without everything, nothing can exist, and without everything, the concept of nothing cannot exist. We must circumvent and find a way to stop Pandemonius that does not involve destroying him, unless it is entirely impossible to do otherwise. I am afraid that removing Oblivion from the scale would cause all of it to shift, become unstable, and wither.
So what? Are we to find a way to banish Pandemonius back where it came from and hope that it doesn't just break its way back into this reality again?
It may be the best option we have. It may be the only option we have.
Just quick, do we actually know what broke Pandemonius out? Was it the behemoth destroying the labs that just released him? Was there some other thing that occurred for him to escape?
Once again, Keely shifts uncomfortably. And Myru looks at her hands. There is silence for a long moment. This is going to come out eventually, so I may as well tell you now. I broke the prison.
So
And
you
suddenly,
wanted
the
out.
needs of the many versus the needs of the one seems like they made the wrong decision.
I'm sorry, you broke the prison, like, as in just a short few weeks ago?
Indeed. I was held within it, same as Pandemonius. Pandemonius has ever been something that ignores me, pretends I don't exist, treats me as if I am never there. And so I go unobserved a lot. And I watched and waited, and I saw Pandemonius waking, I saw it plotting, and I saw what it intended to do with the behemoth, the labs, and our prison. And I saw the Legionnaires attack, and I saw an opportunity. I tried to make it so that I was the only one that broke out. I wished to find the other Archons, gather them, and finish what we'd started. Unintended consequences. Pandemonius had been paying attention to me the whole time, had simply been waiting for me to slip up. And slip up I did. She looks towards Valvexia and just nods her direction. I made the wrong choice and made a mistake, and now we are all paying for it.
And whose choice was it to imprison you with Pandemonius?
The Archons collectively, we took it upon ourselves. It was the 13th who said that Oblivion should not be split and should rest together. For their own reasons. That is part of the greater story that shall be divulged to you later when it is time.
Spark is just kind of staring at her. No emotion showing, per usual. But can't or won't look away.
And she holds Spark's gaze. Equally impassive face, but her eyes showing the deep understanding of all that she has done and all that must now be done because of it.
Okay, so if we're doing this again, you're hoping for the same outcome of Pandemonius being imprisoned, locked away once more, to hopefully not escape again. Is it possible, if we do have to imprison you both, that we can imprison you separately?
She turns her gaze towards Arturo, tilts her head before nodding. I do believe that it could be possible to imprison us separately. But I do not know if imprisonment is the correct course of action anymore. I told you that I wasn't ready to die. That was then. I am now, older and more mature, and ready to do what must be done to protect all of you. The needs of the many. Even selfish children can grow up. And she shrugs.
Well, how convenient in self-sacrifice you'll be able to turn to the needs of the many.
Is this like a one can't survive without the other thing? Like if Pandemonius is destroyed, you become you also destroyed. But what if you're destroyed first? Does that destroy Pandemonius?
Something tells me that'd be a little bit too easy.
Keeley shifts again and leans a little bit forward. That's actually something that we investigated and explored back in the first stage. It does seem to be a one and all sort of situation. We destroy Pandemonius. The 14th Archon will also be removed from our reality. However, it does not go the other way. Pandemonius is much more. She seems to seek for a word that is escaping her for a moment before she takes a breath. Is more firmly set in their reality. The whole problem is that Pandemonius is itself the embodiment of nothing, of, for lack again of a better term, of oblivion. It came from a realm where nothing existed. It was all that there was, just a consciousness, a thinking, feeling, sensing thought. In a realm made of the most intense and powerful magic energy we'd ever come across. It is a natural occurring energy in our reality, though in much more diminished capacity, as after all, our reality is made up of everything. She gestures all around. Nothingness has so much less power here, but a being made up of nothingness, of void, of oblivion, just the concept itself, unknowably powerful. We honestly don't know if we Archons ever were or ever will be strong enough to face Pandemonius in any sort of direct conflict, which is why we sought other means to deal with it.
I'm sorry, are we trying to say that we believe that the nothingness that Pandemonius embodies is greater than, I suppose, the combination of everything and nothing here? Have we resigned ourselves to that fact?
Of course we haven't. That is why we continue to fight back, but the possibility exists. And the fact is they are at least as powerful as everything.
I feel like I've seen and lived in so sort of reflected enough things to realize that anything is damn well possible. Why can't we try to look for a future where everything and nothing continues to exist without Pandemonius here? Is there not a way that we can get rid of Pandemonius and keep Myru around and survive this damn thing?
For the first time since they arrived, both of the Archons smile and look at Spark. And that is exactly why we are still fighting. Because truly, the one consistent element of reality is that anything is technically possible. You never know what rolling the dice may end up showing.
Well, then we shouldn't be planning for Myru to die. We may be forced to make sacrifices along the way, but we shouldn't resign ourselves to an inevitable sacrifice if it's not truly inevitable.
Truth be told, that would be my preferred situation as well. I am resolved to do all that I must, but I still do not wish to see my final days. I would love to be able to still live and exist and be amongst you, to see the changing of the seasons, the dawning of the sun. I wish to see where all of you end up. One time there were great, world-spanning empires that traced their lineages across the stars themselves. I would be delighted to see if any of you are able to do so again. But for the chance for it to happen, I am willing to finally make the sacrifice I was not able to before.
So be it. I feel like we have still so many more avenues to look down. This Will Archon. I know shockingly little about him and what he represents and what he can do. And just how powerful is he in this realm versus the one that Pandemonius comes from.
The two Archons exchange a glance before they both look back towards Spark and seem to nod in unison. Ari is quite the individual, and I do hope you might get a chance to know him better.
Certainly the hope. And of course, we've got all of those other Archons to go free from wherever the hell they're being kept these days.
Yes. Were you interested in chasing any of those down? You were able to find Sally for us.
Well, we do have this prior engagement with a Rift Behemoth, but after that, we've got options.
True.
Sorry, Arturo, I didn't mean to take away your Feywild trip just yet.
No, it's okay. I mean, you know, more pressing matters.
Poor Arturo.
And handle the situation at hand first and celebrate with the bachelor party afterward.
That would be a pretty good way to celebrate.
There
So,
is an Archon on the hills, isn't there? Or at least some important people.
There's definitely some important people everywhere. But yes, we know the locations at least, or at least the rumored locations, of several of the other Archons.
Have we not yet sent parties to all of these rumored locations?
Not yet.
Um, Not for you to like pick favorites amongst your friends, but if you were to pick one who you'd really like back real soon, who would you pick?
If I had the ability to pick any one to bring back now, it would be the Archon of Time. Though that's the one none of us have any clue where they might be.
Not even like a little bit? Don't you guys like have like a connection where you know where each other are?
Unfortunately, we do not. And no, we do not know where the Archon of Time might be. It is the one that has eluded us the most.
Just like, just remembering something I heard a while back. Do you think if your Archon of Time was not trapped in their stone, but were trapped in some manner, they would try to gather your attention by perhaps making tears in time and space to be like, hey, I need your help?
It's entirely possible. If you encounter any, please let us know. We might investigate.
Because there is something like totally ripping, like big gashes in the astral plane and stuff.
Have you been to Elderthalos lately?
I have not.
I don't know enough, but I feel like it might be a place to start.
She considers. You see her run her fingers through her hair thoughtfully for a moment. It's as good a place as any.
Spark has his hood up, but you can see the flicker of a face of a water genasi you've never met before. Or at least, maybe you don't remember before it disappears.
Did anyone see
Killy
that?
nods.
Spark, your face just did a weird thing. Did you? Your face, it had another face. It's never done that before.
Spark's all fancy
It
with
might
his
be
hood.
my hood acting up. I mean, that is what the hood is for. We've been on the run after all this time. I
I suppose.
decided to get this thing to provide cover, but I don't know. It doesn't always seem to work as intended.
Been on the run, huh?
Oh yeah, we're terrorists. According to some people.
Beg your pardon?
Oh, you don't know?
Yathay said you guys might be in some sort of trouble, but, not that you were labeled as terrorists.
Well, actually, are we? I don't know if we actually are labeled as terrorists because the person we thought was hunting us down for terrorism actually wanted to talk to us, to help us. It was a whole miscommunication kind of thing. So maybe we're not
you're
labeled as terrorists
not
anymore.
labeled as terrorists.
I mean, we did burn down a prison.
Are you arguing that you are a terrorist?
I'm arguing that I'm unsure what I'm labeled as in the public eye.
Interesting.
The main thing is people know who we are, and some of those people aren't happy with things we did. There was a whole Civil War thing, and there was bound to be people we pissed off no matter what we did.
Are you talking about Baron?
Yes.
We're not gonna touch that topic.
Not to mention this other civil war between the warlock patrons.
Oh yeah, that's a whole thing too, right? We
That
really
sounds
have to-
like fun.
We're probably gonna have to do something about that. Well, because are you pretty involved in that?
I started the war, Arturo. Or, well, not quite started,
You
but
did what?
I might have fired
What?
one of the first
You
shots.
did. What? Did,
You were
this comes-
there!
I'm
what-
starting
yeah, I
to
know, but
question my choice
technically
to
they
come
fired
here.
the first shot. They fired first.
Sure, but we won.
Well, yeah, of course we did.
That's
We
what
certainly
matters.
did.
I'm starting to question what they got me into with you two.
I don't think I don't know if you're.
Where's
saying,
Luther?
Oh yeah, Seda was there too.
Make me insight checks.
Who?
Anyone who wants to be paying attention to the people at the table.
Oh shit, I
Yes,
didn't even
please.
open my freaking character sheet. Goddamn.
Ooh. Hey, you're not there.
The guy who isn't there rolls a nat 20.
Alright, everybody who's there, and who might not be there, rolled high enough that you would notice this. As you're discussing this warlock war in Sedna and, you know, who shot first, Arabella shifts nervously and seems very uncomfortable.
Got something you want to say?
You do not. No.
I'm Val's joining Clara with the snacking on the crackers and the
You
cheese.
just get some of the cheeses and the meats, yeah.
Oh, are you a warlock, Arabella?
No, actually, I'm not.
So why do you look uncomfortable? Shoes on cracker, casually.
It's personal.
About a war between warlocks, patrons.
Yeah,
When
there's a
you're
lot of
not a
personal
warlock?
feelings wrapped up with the patrons and their allies and all that. Didn't mean to antagonize you, but fact of the matter is, we were attacked and we fought back.
Wow. That's
I met those who started the war. They killed my sister.
so it wasn't you two. Doesn't that make you feel at least a little bit better?
Wait, what's your sister's name?
Oh shit, what was her name?
Did we kill her?
I have notes on this somewhere. Ooh, ooh.
Her name was Brylith.
And she was killed by the. Was it the undead patron? Was it his servants that we fought with in the basement?
No, she was killed by followers of the Undying and of the Raven Queen.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know. I wasn't involved.
She served the undead patron. I did not know, of course, of this servitude. I did not know all that had transpired in her time. Something had happened at some point, and she'd been caught up in a nasty bit of ill luck, I suppose. Well, it's getting a bit off the main topic, but my sister and I, we used to be guides of a sort. There was a door up in the hills, far and away here, in what was once core territory, but has long since been abandoned. And it's believed that it was ancient elven territory, and that's where we believe our village originally hailed from, was those ancient ruins. But there was a door. People came through it from another world. We met them, and we escorted them to what is known as a vault. It had never been opened, at least as far as we knew by that point. This group was intent on opening the vault, delving into it, and collecting its secrets. My sister had been instructed by the undead patron, specifically by the broodmother, his wife. She seems to be unsure of that exact relationship. But she had already hosted the broodmother in our village and had sent her far and away. She seemed to have plans for, she gestures around at, everyone, for Imlar. And I think she was headed for first the city of Kolingen and then Jadur.
Val
Who's this
is like
vampire
very
lady?
intently eating the snacks now, like she practically should be eating fucking like a whole meal.
Spark, what was the lady who wanted to bring vampires here called?
Vampires?
You're the one that killed Carl.
Vampires?
It's fine, they're not coming, we fixed it.
Wait, they're okay, but they're real.
Well, no, obviously, because they're not here.
But
In other worlds, yes, but not here.
but there was one here.
No, she was trying to create the very first vampires on Victoria, but we
Evelyn-
stopped it.
You
Evelyn
can make
Sanguinarius.
vampires.
Does that name sound familiar, Arabella? Because that's a pretty big plan for Immorality to bring vampires to take over the whole country, you know?
God damn. Yeah, 10 on intelligence? Jeez.
Yes, actually, that does sound familiar. Evelyn, I believe, was part of this broodmother's group. There were two of them, the broodmother, this Evelyn, and then there were a handful of smaller, assistant-looking. They were hunched over and covered in many bits of clothing and rags. I assumed it was because it was cold. After all, we do live in snow-capped, blustery hills. So, I just assumed it was cold, but perhaps it was something more. I only really got a good look at the faces of the broodmother and of this Evelyn.
So I'm assuming you two have met this Evelyn person. They
Mhm.
killed your friend.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Well, kind of. A demon prince technically killed Carl. But, Evelyn smacked him about a bit.
Wait, is this that about in the creepy mansion thing that you told me about?
Yeah, she was there.
And she just looks to Arabella. Oh, your sister was with the wrong people. I heard about that creepy mansion.
And she paid for it with her life.
Yikes.
I'm sorry, you're saying that was it these people who went to the vault near where your town is from?
The broodmother and Evelyn? No. It was a different group.
So where'd they come from?
I never did ask where they came from, nor did they offer it up.
I mean, yeah, makes sense.
They were a strange group. There was one with a mask and a strange arm. His name was Mordecai. There's one that looked
I like
somewhat
that
like a demon. There was
Spark starts to face
another one.
palm.
Long, dark hair, very elegant dressed, That one was the follower of the Raven Queen.
Wait, go back. Demon looking. What?
Yes, a demoness looking, almost like a succubi.
Don't know her name.
She pauses for a moment as she attempts to remember.
I think we met Mordecai in the dream world, right, Spark?
Oh dear.
We did.
Yeah, I thought so.
Is that a bad thing? Or is that a good thing?
Does the name Rosalie ring a bell to you?
I like that name.
She gasps. Sedna gasps. How do you know? Have you met her as well?
Technically, not in this realm, but we have met in the dream realm.
Was that the fairy lady?
Yes.
So again,
Yep.
meeting these people, good or bad?
They seemed pretty chill, but there was a lot of weird stuff going on with them. You think we're strange.
Define weird. Because, again, don't know what weird is when, you know, the conversations that we've had so far. Borderline eccentric on my definition.
Did you also meet the small, strange living doll? The puppet
The
boy?
what?
Kree, his name was.
Oh, I don't like dolls. That's kind of...
Met,
Nope.
did we?
We
There was
did
a
not.
frog guy, yeah.
But the demoness was Aristel. That's who it was. Rosalie was their friend. She was the one with the long dark hair and the elegant dress. Then there was... I believe her name was Wednesday. She was an absolute delight. She was covered in muscles and scars and looked like she could take anyone she wanted in a fight. And was quite frankly a little intimidating.
Spark has another little flash on his hood, this time of an Aarakocra, before it disappears again. That name is familiar.
Spark, are you
In fact,
okay?
all of these names
You,
are.
you really got to get that hood checked out.
Spark, are you,
Is it acting up again?
Yeah,
are you
you're flickering.
experiencing any change of moods?
No, just we'll call them misplaced memories.
Insight check. Of course. It makes
Oh
total
my
sense.
fuck! No!
Amazing.
Totally checks out, I believe him.
That seems very troublesome. You should probably, like, I don't know, maybe talk about it? Uh-huh.
Do you want me to talk to Svelius, see if he can check out the hood or something? Maybe it's like some of the magic's going wonky.
It's fine. As
Maybe-
long as it doesn't look like me, it's getting the job done.
Maybe having the hood around Oblivion has affected the magic. Well,
Did
see,
you get any
okay,
clue on it?
as long as it doesn't look like you say it's doing the job, but what if you're using the disguise and then suddenly it flickers to something else? Just gave you away.
We'll worry about that when it comes.
I don't want to worry about that when it comes. That's a whole situation we could have avoided by fixing your hood.
I suppose we can have someone look at it.
It's just, just in case. We don't want to get all flickery when we're trying to sneak in somewhere.
I
Better
have
to be
no
prepared.
problem letting Sevelius look at it.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, Abella, we were talking about your devastating backstory with your sister.
You didn't have to say it like
Wow.
that.
She just tilts her head and curls a brow.
I'm sorry, he's weird.
I'm sorry for your loss.
I don't think he thinks
Thank-
about things before it
thank
comes
you.
out of his mouth.
She may have made the wrong choices and may have backed the wrong side, but she was still family, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, you know, even if they make the wrong choices, they're still family, you know? So,
Yeah, it's true.
same thing with friends, sort of. Kind of. Maybe not to the same degree, but, you know, you try.
Arbella will simply nod at that. But yes, I met the ones who did start this war with all the warlocks.
Yes, I suppose they are the ones who truly started it.
Look, I'm just glad I'm not apparently partying up with terrorists, because that was kind of scared me for a second.
Yeah, sorry, that was a strong word. I shouldn't have just thrown that at you like that.
Are you terrorists?
What? Sedna, you were there. Well, you know,
For
you were
one
you were in
incident.
you were in town. Did we look like we were terrorists?
You had weapons inside of a library.
Did there end up being bad things in that library?
Mm-hmm. They sure did.
I would say that they were doing their job.
No one told us we couldn't have the weapons there.
That's very true.
Although, let's be real, why would you have weapons in a library normally? But I guess if you're adventurers just visiting the library, like, why would you put weapons somewhere special? Question mark. Also, I'd
Exactly.
like to point out, arguably, if you're, like, you know, a band of adventurers / mercenaries, like, if you're getting hired to be terrorists, that's kind of your job.
Well, I mean, we didn't do anything. We didn't even blow up half the town. That was the other guys. We just burned down one building.
Someone blew up half the town.
Well, a big chunk of it.
You burnt down a house.
It was more of a prison.
Oh. Did you incite a riot at the same
Wait,
time?
that was you?
What? Yeah,
Did you incite a riot at the same time? Was there a riot?
kind of.
There might
all
have
of
been a
every-
riot.
A little bit, yeah.
We
And
did let
technically,
people out.
the fire did start as an illusion, but then someone freaked out and then actually started a real one.
I miss all the fun.
So it was all an accident, really.
So we're gonna have fun like that, like, now, right? Because, like...
Well, not now. It's nearly bedtime, but maybe tomorrow.
That's what I didn't mean, like, right now. I didn't mean, like, right now, while we're hundreds of feet in the air, because that's terrifying.
Oh, well, yeah. Later, though. Yeah, sure.
Sweet. I like to live my
Anyway,
life to the fullest, you know?
So what were we talking about?
War. Warlocks. Patrons.
Oh,
I
yes,
suppose
right.
we were conceding the fact that we didn't fire the first shot to start the war,
I'm
so much as we were
surprised
just in the
Havoc
first
couldn't tell you that.
battle that we are aware of.
Does Havoc not go back to the Hells in any... that he just sticks with you the entire time? He doesn't get any word from the Hells? Like, hey, my
He
warlock
does
started the
now
war.
and then.
Yeah, he vanished for like 3 whole days once.
Yeah, he disappeared on us.
Yeah, I pop in and out now and then.
So, like, you didn't hear anything? Like, hey, your warlock started the war in the Hells or anything like that?
Oh no, he actually told us about the war starting, and then we actually ended up getting involved in the war
Yeah.
shortly after.
Oh, so then
Yeah, I
you
was
don't...
there for
Why
that
do you
fight.
think you started it?
Well,
At
I'm pretty
the
sure we were the
time-
first to draw blood on this planet, at least.
That's
I
fair.
think so.
So you didn't start the war, you just extended it. Its range. Is that
Yeah,
about right? Okay.
We've got a certain set of skills.
Oh, I love to throw
We
in
sure
on
do.
that.
Most of them involve fire in one fashion or one capacity or another.
Arson is the best. No one heard me say that. I didn't say anything.
What have you burned down?
The establishment, young Arturo, the establishment. Okay.
You're not a real arsonist.
We're not gonna talk about that. I've burnt down nothing as far as you're concerned.
All right. We'll talk about it later. Maybe once we've burnt down something together, then you'll feel like telling me.
Maybe.
I've doubled down on our arson capabilities, so don't you worry.
I've burnt a portion of my family's mansion. Does that count? For now?
Potentially.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Sweet.
did
I mean,
the
yeah, you're on
ceiling
the team.
collapse?
I was really getting tired of, like, our training room, so I was like, oops, I slipped the candle, oh! And then, you know, might have had pre-soaked the floorboard and, yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Oh yeah, that
Alright.
definitely sounds way more
Yeah.
terroristy than anything that we've ever
Yeah,
done.
That was like
My family
pre-planned.
sucks.
I mean, I don't know about anything.
It's okay. They had
But
money
like
to
at
fix
least
it.
like a good like 80%.
It's okay. They
85.
had money to fix it. It's just
Fair.
like, you know, partial arson because like I knew they could fix it, and there's fucking and they did. So like,
Spark looks back around the room to see them all presumably listening into this.
Again, just all staring.
Hi, I'm a lot
sun-
more fun than my family. I promise.
The sun
Okay.
has slowly set at this point, and darkness is starting to fill the land. All the lights and all the torches and everything around the ship are keeping everything illuminated, so you can still see up top. There are lights that come out to help them, you know, see around on deck. But with last light coming from the sun, Luther and Elise will return from their sparring session, as it is almost time for dinner.
I feel so bad that Luther wasn't here for like this entire conversation.
It's probably for the best.
Yeah.
It is, believe me.
I was gonna say also you said you haven't slept well, so probably you wouldn't be able to like keep up.
Yeah, but he's the only one we haven't asked about his torture techniques. So as soon as he comes in, we kind of have to ask him.
But okay, but like remember I said that Luther came to find me for my family, so I feel like he's more of like a upfront, just do it by the book kind of guy. You know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Also,
we should go
just for my own comfort, so what happens while this is flying in air, like, you know, during the night, or do we land for the night, or like what's the situation with all that?
I'm presuming there's a night captain, so the captain can sleep, or like a secondary pilot that takes over.
Indeed,
Val?
there are night watches and night crews.
Okay.
That same thing happens on regular boats, and you know this is just a regular boat. It's just up here.
Okay, I haven't, like, besides going from, like, I don't know, my hometown to, like, where Val is, or Val, Yathay is, I haven't, like, crossed any oceans or anything, so, like, yeah.
I'll tell you, know, like when the only time I went to a different continent, I did it via tree, so I don't know too much.
Tree?
About that
Oh, you mean, like, there was a portal in the tree, and you...
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I haven't traveled by, like, normal boat. So, like, flying boat as my first boat is kind of like, I don't think I'd be scared of the boat in the water, but the boat in the air is kind of scary.
Well, we nearly took a canal trip once, but then, you know, we had to go and talk to a giant lizard in a lake instead. But we did get to row a
Canal
boat.
trip?
Yeah, we were going to take a canal trip when we got to Killingen so we could see all the sights and stuff, and maybe go on, like, a ski trip or something, but then we had to go and talk to this big lizard in a lake, which did result in rowing a boat, so we did get to travel by
Oh,
boat.
you know, they did tell me that you guys didn't get to have any, like, vacation time while at Killingen.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to, like, that little trip, but, you know.
Maybe we can go back later. Like, after your wedding or something.
Oh, like a honeymoon. But then you guys are there too, that's weird.
That's a little weird.
It's
We'll
fine.
see what
You owe
Lily
it to us
says.
to bring us along.
Huh?
He owes us.
It's
Does
true.
he?
That's what I'm gonna say.
Oh. Okay, if we're just saying that, then yeah, sure, not. Where's Luther?
He's beating up that lady.
I feel like it's the other way around.
I don't know much about sword fighting.
The beating was mutual.
So, is there dinner?
I was about to say, is dinner ready yet? Because I think I had like half of my dinner through these snacks.
Myru, Kaylee, do you, like, eat and stuff?
The Archons just exchange a glance, then both look at Arturo. In the traditional sense, we can. We just don't really need to.
Do you fancy some dinner?
I do believe that Keely and I are in fact going to go up on top deck and wait for the others.
I was gonna say, if they don't need to eat much, they can have the rest of this snack plate and we can have the dinner. More food for us.
Sounds good.
Wait, the other Archons are coming.
Indeed. I do believe they plan to launch the attack from the ship.
Oh, I definitely want dinner before that then.
Well, it won't be until tomorrow, so you're fine.
Oh, okay.
I'm really going to have to think properly about what spells to prepare for tomorrow.
What am I supposed to do?
You stab them and stuff, and you can shoot them with that big gun that you got.
From the ship? I mean, from the shooting the gun, yeah, sure, but like, you know what I mean? Like, if we're staying on the ship, or are we getting off the ship?
Oh, we're getting off the ship.
Oh, they're staying on the ship and we're getting off the ship. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You're gonna
We're
fly me
jump.
down, right?
I think. Well, I was going to suggest jumping off. Yes.
How about I climb onto your back and then you jump?
All right.
That's, you know what? That sounds even scarier. Hey Havoc,
Hey, what's up?
do you plan on getting big tomorrow?
I
That's okay.
suppose
alright.
that entirely depends on you, don't it?
I You know what I meant, like for the fight or whatever.
You really walked into that one. I mean,
Shut up!
you were warned by FA.
I look. It's been a while since I worked at the brothel. Okay, my sharp edges might have like fallen off a little bit.
But, I mean, and he looks towards Spark and shrugs. I mean, it's up to the boss here, but I fully expect that things are gonna suck as much as possible inside the behemoth, so yeah.
Look, man, as
Probably.
long as I don't need to jump off the ship and somebody can fly me down, I'm fine.
Fine, I'll be an owl first, and then I'll take you down.
Okay. That sounds
We'll do
okay.
it safely.
No, I think the plan, and Clara is, like, getting up, and she's looking at her bottle of wine that is now almost empty and just frowning. The plan is the Archons will grab the creature's attention. You know, all 6 of them are going to be flying around its head, making it, pay attention to them. We're going to fly alongside, pull up, and I guess dock of a sort, and let you off via ramp.
Oh.
That's even better.
Oh. That's less fun than what I had in mind. I'm gonna go get Lily for dinner.
I feel like this motherfucker was gonna like let me climb on his back and then dive.
Maybe.
You would have.
Thank you for letting me know. I am going to trust him even less. Hey Havoc, I'm gonna hang on to you from now on, okay?
Hell yeah.
So about dinner. Where are we going?
I suppose it's downstairs.
Okay. Where's the stairs? Oh, that's why everyone was going over there. Okay.
Yeah, the stairs. They're down there. Mess hall, down there too.
As soon as we leave the room, everybody's like, what a weird bunch.
Yeah.
Lily, darling, are you coming for tea? For dinner?
Did you say tea?
For dear?
I went for tea and dinner at once.
Tortilla.
That's racist.
Lily is currently going through the books, and she seems to have one open that she's flipping through and reading quietly, and so she jumps a little. What? Oh, yes, of course.
Wonderful. Didn't mean to sneak up on you. We've been talking about plans and what to do with the prisoner, and then what's going to happen with the behemoth, and then the Archons came, and then we talked about all that. And then apparently Arabella's sister was killed in the war that's going on with the warlocks, thanks to that vampire lady I told you about, or something. Everything's all weirdly interlinked.
God, I wish I was there to peek my head in and say, and we were talking about, interrogation tactics for torture.
I found a book on fairies. She holds
Ooh.
it up.
Like, what do you mean about like biology book, or like socially about fairies?
Oh, no. I think this is just fiction. It just happens to have a
Oh,
fairy.
even better.
Well, maybe not a fairy, but a fey person of small variety with wings. But yeah, it's a storm giant, and apparently this fey person rides around in a storm giant's pocket. They fly around on a ship that travels between worlds and dimensions. It's fascinating. It's so cute.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
They had to break the captain out of prison. Did you know that?
What, our captain?
No, in this book.
Oh! Oh, no, I have never read it, so it's all a complete surprise to me.
Oh, well, it's really good. I'm going to read it, and then you should read it.
Well, why don't we save it for bed, and then you can read it to me when we go to bed?
Well, I mean, it's quite long. I don't think I could get through all of it tonight.
But it doesn't have to be all tonight. It's not like we're going to die tomorrow.
She just blinks.
But I'm serious.
I'm going to read it, and then when I'm done, I'm going to give it to you. You read it, and then we'll discuss it.
All right.
They got their own little couple book club.
Yeah.
So, actually about tomorrow, what are you planning on doing tomorrow?
I'm going to help as best I can.
No, I know. Yeah, I know. But like, from where?
I believe we'll be down on the ground with the forces there, offering my aid as I can,
Okay.
both with my bow and with my healing.
That's good.
Have you seen this view? She rushes over to one of the windows and points out it.
It's a
It's
little
not
dark.
as good now. It's dark, but yeah,
I can only imagine it was spectacular when the sun was up.
it was marvelous. This is one of the best views in the whole place. You can see, we're on the very back of the ship. You can see everything, stretching forever. Well, not now again because it's dark.
Yeah, sun. I get it.
So what I'm hearing is Arturo won't be riding her into battle.
But we've flown before. We've been this high up.
I mean, that's true, but I always have to do all the work,
Yeah,
since
that's
we're
true,
actually
yeah.
flying. This
You
I
don't
could
get
just
to
sit back and watch.
That's true. Yeah, actually, I see your point. So dinner? I'm actually famished.
She will nod at that and gesture for you to proceed.
Also, if Val asks you any weird questions about our sex life, just mess around with her. It's really fun.
We don't have those conversations over dinner.
She just blinks. You want me to sleep with her?
Huh?
How did you get that from what I said?
You said mess around with her.
No, not like that. I mean, like, mentally.
Do not cast confusion on me, on God.
So, sending stone?
You know what, you do you,
Intimacy?
and then tell me later.
You are don't give her ideas. What the bro?
She just, again, blinks her eyes, finally shrugs, and continues on.
Oh. How was your training, Luther?
Tiring.
You don't skimp on the details, per usual.
That's good. But no, it was eventful. It hurt. As it should.
Oh. Okay. Good to know. She hurts. Val just kind of lightly nudges her and is like, good job.
Go several rounds with her yourself, you'll see exactly what I mean.
I am A-okay, I've got a gun. The only thing I need is a little bit of target practice. I do that upstairs on deck and, you know, pull and whatnot, but like, you know, not up here.
Though, again, it is dark out, so the view is not great. There are lots of windows in this room, so you can, during the day, see out to the surrounding countryside for wherever they may end up being.
So don't have breakfast in here. Got it. Take breakfast in bed. Got it.
Members of the crew will eventually show up. We'll set down dishes for everyone. Dinner will be served. And everybody may take their refreshments. And then after that, you may retire to any one of the cabins. Except, of course, for the large one, that is the captain's cabin.
Damn.
And the 2 cabins closest to it are the officers' cabins. But these other cabins are up for grabs.
I called dibs on the one with the red sheets.
I already did that earlier.
Oh, fuck you. No, you didn't. You wanted the big cabin.
No.
You just said, oh, fuck! Get the fuck out of my face, bitch! I called dibs!
I already figured it was the captain's cabin. It doesn't take much guesswork.
I'll wrestle you for it.
But these cabins will be open. And we'll get some rest, some relaxation, a chance to pause, catch our breaths. Because in the morning, the war starts. We attack the Rift Behemoth. And our party will begin their infiltration to take down the massive beast. And that's what we'll call it for today.
Nice.
And before I move my token all the way down there and just be like, I'm out of here! Call my dibs on my room! Brings plate.
Plot twist, I'm the captain now.
Motherfucker!
That's all it takes. You just have to move into the cabin.
Yup.
Looks
Man,
like the
thank you
night
guys for
cabin
playing.
got sick. You have to do an overnight shift. I'll take care of your cabin, don't worry.